Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Brad's Bourbon Reviews, the podcast. I am your host, Brad Hughes, and this is the first episode without the old former co-host. Well, I should say the first non-Patreon episode without the former co-host, Timmy. He actually texted me as we started recording this, which is kind of freaking me out a little bit, to be honest. But I am here, joined by someone who I respect the absolute hell out of. He is one half of the Whiskey Rocks podcast and a friend to the only person that I know that enjoys Dickel, Joel Kirk. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, good. Yeah, that's right. I mean, Dickel, that's a whole other thing. We'll have to get into it at some point for sure.
I would love to. I would love to get in. I'd love to get into it as far as talking about it, but drinking it, I'm all set.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very divisive bourbon. That's for sure.
I can pick it out of a lineup. 100, like without any hesitation. Like, it's not one of those where like, is that what this is? You know, if you've had it, you know what it tastes like. It's so weird.
Yes. It's definitely recognizable. There's no doubt.
It is. Well, dude, first off, thanks for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here for sure.
Of course, man. We've been trying to do this for like 6 months.
God, I know. And it's just, we're dads, you know, and
yeah,
like,
bro, I feel you.
Shit happens. And
shit be happening, bro. Shit
be happening.
Hey, shit be happening. That's the name of the episode. Shit be happening.
I like it. I like
it. So plug away, man. Plug your TikTok, your podcast before we get into it. So that way people catch this before.
Yeah, if you like whiskey, well, I mean, you probably are if you're listening to the show. If you like rock and roll, that's what we do on the Whiskey Rocks podcast. We take whiskey, we take rock and roll, we marry it together, find ways to blend it together, and tell stories around it. Been doing a lot of fun episodes lately with some distilleries that have more of that rock lens to them. We've had some rock stars on the show, including the bassist from Faith No More recently, and some more planned. So, we'd love to have you come over and listen to an episode or two when you have the chance. Also have the Instagram, the TikTok, all that, Whiskey Rocks. You know, my approach to social is a little bit different than a lot of people. I'm just there to have fun.
It works, man. It works. I was sitting here today. I was sitting here today thinking about, I was trying to remember what the first video I saw of yours was, and I can't remember what it was, but I know it made me laugh because the one you did today, I think it was today, or at least I saw it today, actually. It was the Dave Grohl.
Oh, yeah, I had to.
That was one of those things where I saw that and I was like, fuck, I wish I'd have thought of that.
I'm a big Dave Grohl fan, and so...
Rest in peace, his marriage.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, this is hard. This is hard for us Dave Grohl fans because I don't know, he was always on this like throne of just, he's a good guy. He's the good guy of rock and roll, you know? It's also rock, man. I mean, like, if this is the worst thing he does, I think that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's way worse shit you could get involved in. Oh, completely. There's so much worse shit you could get involved in.
For sure.
But, you know, he'll bounce back.
Yeah, I don't think he's good. You know, I think it's a good sign that people are, like, memeing on it instead of, like, really shitting on him. I'm sure people are shitting on him, but it's getting memed on is the best reaction you could hope for in something like this. Also, he's in a rock band. Right. Come on, man. What's going on? Come on.
At the end of the day, we're talking about a rock and roller, right? So, is what it is.
So I wanted to get your opinion on this. I was about to ask you this question before we started recording. And I was like, I'm going to save this. So cool. It got me thinking about the videos that you do. It got me thinking, what is your favorite video or podcast that you've ever done? And then have a follow-up question to that.
Wow. That's a tough one. I mean, from a podcast perspective, probably we had an episode with Trip Stimson from Barrel Bourbon a few weeks ago, or a few months ago at this point. That was such a fun conversation. I mean, we've been fortunate to have some really good guests on, but that one with Trip really stuck out to me just because he calls himself their chief whiskey scientist out there at Barrel.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is just a cool title, right? And he was just so down to earth and fun to talk with that it was just one of those conversations that when I hung up and we wrapped up the recording, I was just like, wow, holy shit. I just got to talk to like this guy who like puts out amazing whiskey. You know what I mean? Like it was just one of those moments where I was like, holy crap, getting to talk to someone like that is what I'm doing this for. You know, just trying to learn and trying to pass along information to people about so many different brands. So that was probably one of my favorite podcasts. In terms of videos, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I put out so much stupid shit, you know. Like,
well, the reason I asked that was because I have this like theory in my head where the videos that we try the hardest on and the ones that we like go like, that's a fucking awesome video. Right. Will be the least performing one. And then the one that you do on a whim and you're like, I guess I'll upload this is the one that pops off. And I wonder what that's about.
I have no idea because you're exactly right. I mean, there's been videos that actually to the Foo Fighters, what if I say it when I'm not like the others from the Pretender, that song I took like the Weller. This was last year. It was a fun video where I took all the different Weller lineups and I dressed in like different colored shirts to resemble the different Weller bottles. Uh-huh. And this was right when the Weller, the Daniel Weller got announced, right? And like I came in as Daniel Weller with the compass and all that. And it was a great. What if I say I'm not like you? You know, and it was a great video. Like got a lot of reaction, like for the people that saw it, but like 300 people saw it.
Dude, my biggest example of this is I'm trying to remember which one it was. I had a video in mind and I completely forgot what it was. Let me look it up because this is funny to me. There was a video. Oh, I know what it was. It was the controversial bourbon opinions video that I did. It was like a part 2.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
I spent like a whole fucking Saturday editing that video.
Oh, that's the worst.
And it got like, I honestly don't even know. If I gun to my head, probably 500 views, 1,000 maybe.
Yep.
And then I walk into a Walmart once, and
yes.
I filmed the Tim Smith thing, and then that goes fucking crazy. I mean, like a million views isn't like. I mean, a million views is a million views, but it's not like. You know, there's some you see viral videos get like 100 million views. I'm aware that like a million's not like a fucking crazy amount. I mean, it's not nothing, but it's not like holy shit. But the interaction that I got with that, and I didn't even. My fiance told me to do it. So anytime she tells me to do a video now, I just do it because I'm like, okay, you were right about the Tim Smith thing. And then like the distillery reached out to me and sent me a bottle and like invited me to come up and do like a tour of it and meet him and. It was just fucking weird, and some weird article got written about me, and it was a weird fucking thing. And I wondered if you've had that, and I wonder why that happens.
Yeah, I have no clue. Right? I mean, I have one right now on Instagram that I posted like 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden in the last couple days, it's blowing up, and it's like an 8-second video. You know what I mean?
It's so strange, dude.
Right. And it's, I mean, it's a funny, stupid video, but like, it's got like in the last week, it's gotten like 7,000 likes and like 200,000 views and like 20,000 shares. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this video? You know, you have no idea. There's no way to like ever figure out what's going to work and what's going to not. I don't know. My, I guess, ideology around creating is just if I enjoyed putting it together, then it was worth doing.
Absolutely, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's why I review stupid shit. Like I reviewed the Jim Beam Sunshine Blend bottle. Like I'll review anything. I don't give a shit. Like I want to experience as much whiskey as I can because then it adds. Like I always tell people, like I know friends of mine who are into bourbon and stuff. And they were like refused to try a brand because they didn't like one thing once. And I'm like, dude, if I did that, like you're holy shit. Like I would have missed out on all the great Green River stuff. I would have missed out on Blue Note, like the uncut, unfiltered stuff. And I mean, quite honestly, Jack Daniels, because like Jack Daniels 1No.7 was my only experience with Jack Daniels for a long time.
Correct.
And that's like a brand example. People are just like, oh, I don't like Jack Daniels. I'm like, okay, well, I know you don't like old No.7, but have you tried a single barrel proof? Have you tried any of their like more allocated stuff? You tried Jack Bonded. So
happens all the time. Happens all the time with Jack.
Absolutely. I feel like people should be more open to trying new things, which is why I bought Beyonce's whiskey last week.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Nice. Well,
not really.
But at least you tried it.
Yeah, it's. I didn't notice it, and someone pointed out in one of the comments under it that it's not a straight rye. So
right, correct.
It's got some shady shit going on with it. I don't know.
You know who's
pretty.
Who's hitting it hard though is good old David Brickhouse. You seen his videos around it?
No, whenever I know something like that, like something's like that is popping off, I stay away from reviews, just so I don't see anybody and have someone else's thoughts in my head while I'm thinking about it.
Makes sense. Yep.
So no, does he like it?
So he's got an interesting situation. I guess he got reached out to from them, like from the main blender out there. He did like a video interview with him with like a virtual tasting and stuff. They sent him a bottle, and you know how that goes. We'll just put it out there.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that. Like, have you had something like? First off, I tell every single distillery which is why I think I have gotten. There's some brands I think that just are like, all right, well, Old Elk and Barrel being one of them because I really liked Barrel Foundation. I love that bottle.
Oh yeah.
But I've never seen another one. The only one I've ever seen is the one they sent me. Is it available near you?
It is. Yeah,
I don't see it anywhere.
I get you a bottle of it for sure.
I want another one because I fucking love that thing, and it just bums me out because I haven't drank much out of it because I love it so much.
It is really good.
And I talk about it, but I don't think that I gave it the review they wanted because I heard back from them after that. I know they send stuff out to a lot of people, but I just have an agreement. Anytime someone sends me something, I'm like, okay, that's fine, but are you expecting me to give it like a good review, or can I be honest about it? Because if you are just expecting me to talk highly of it and tell people to buy it, I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like I just refuse. It's not worth it to me.
No, it's not, and it shouldn't be, right? So I have the same approach, right? Where there's been some stuff that has been sent, and if I don't like it, I just don't talk about it.
Exactly.
Right. I'm not.
You need to shit on things. There's a way.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I don't want to waste my energy. You know what I mean? Like my creative energy coming up with a review about something I don't like.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Right. So,
or like even worse, like if you lied about it, and then you got the bottle for free, but then you're telling people who could potentially have like a smaller bourbon budget,
right?
Then hey, this $65 bottle is really good, and you go out and they try it and it sucks, which honestly could happen with anything. But like if you're endorsing something that you specifically don't like if I say I like something, I like something. If I say I don't like it, I don't like it. Like I will never. Ever, and I know you wouldn't either, say I like something that I don't like. I just refuse.
No, totally. I mean, as a dad, like I just wouldn't want to do that to some other dad. You
exactly.
know what I mean? Like
100%, dude.
Like I've got a very limited whiskey budget, and so I'm very tight when it comes to what I spend. Like I'm a big fan of that like $60 bottle, right?
Sure.
Things that are in that price range, and so. And that's because of my budget, right? And I know what it's like. So if I'm sent something that's over that $60 range, I'm really going to make sure like it's something that I like, because I know that's a big chunk of change for someone to put down on a bottle. And if they don't like it, God damn, that sucks.
Yeah, I took another gamble today. I bought the.
Did you?
I've taken so many fucking swings this past month, dude.
Sometimes you have to.
I got the Maker's Mark Cellar Age 2024. Fucking
nice.
Terrible. No, it's not.
Oh,
it's not good.
Is it bad?
I don't like it at all. And
that's unfortunate. I like the 2023.
I didn't love the 2023. I don't even think this one's as good as the 2023, to be honest.
Wow.
And then today I bought for my fiance is a big New York Yankees fan, so we bought the fucking $200 Babe Ruth one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking swings, buddy, but we'll see what happens. And last weekend I bought the fucking Beyonce, and I've bought a ton of stupid shit. But I did get I got Bomb Burgers. I also got some good stuff. But
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I'm fucking, no pun intended with the Babe Ruth. I hope I'm not batting fucking a bad swing here, because that shit was expensive. It's $200.
I haven't had it yet. I haven't tasted it. Is it any good? Have you tasted it?
I literally got it today. I haven't opened it yet. I put it right next to Beyonce's whiskey, which is where that's going to be my shelf, my reminder shelf to not buy dumb shit. But I still will, because I'm an idiot and I won't remember that it's there.
We all do it. I mean, we've all bought stuff. What is like the bottle that you regret the most buying?
Oh God,
that's a good question, right?
Honestly, man, probably that fucking Maker's Mark.
Really? Wow.
Because
wow,
I funded it. I funded it by selling an E.H. Taylor barrel proof.
Oof.
So I essentially I bought the bottle and then I traded what that bottle was worth for that bottle. So that one or the Jack Daniel's Gold number. Well, I don't regret that because it's Jack Daniel's. Yeah, probably, dude. Honestly, probably the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. Probably.
Okay. Wow.
If it's not that one, it's Russell's Reserve 13 Batch 4.
That's right. I really didn't like that one.
I hated that one.
Yeah,
I traded it for an E.H. Taylor and a Blanton's, and I had those already.
Oh God, no! I remember you saying that, and that happens, right? I mean, we all have made some of those mistakes, and I think that's what's fun about what we do on social media platforms is that's one of the things that I'm trying to do is just try to educate people that don't want to make those mistakes, right?
Absolutely.
And you still might, right?
Yeah, you're gonna no matter what you do, you're gonna fucking make those mistakes,
right? And like honestly, like I've been in my whiskey journey now for about 10 years, I'd say.
Oh wow,
right?
You're way ahead of me, bro.
Yeah, so like I'm an old man. I started out as a Scotch drinker because my dad was a Scotch drinker, right? And so the Scotch is where I started, and it's very easy to make some really bad mistakes in Scotch.
I feel like every Scotch packaging for everything, it all looks the same. I can't fucking tell what any of it is.
I know, right? And that's why it's so hard. It's so easy to make mistakes when you're buying Scotch.
What's your favorite Scotch?
My favorite Scotch? Really depends on the mood. I really do like, surprisingly, because everyone's. I am more of a bourbon or rye drinker now. But I started out with really smoky Scotches. Probably like, honestly, my go-to when I'm thinking of a smoky Scotch is going to be the Lagavulin 16.
Dude, that's my favorite. I was gonna say it. Yeah, I love that bottle.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. It's complex. It's fun.
I've only had it once, but I had it at a cigar bar, and I had it with a cigar, and I don't think I've ever had anything that paired that well with a cigar. Yeah,
it's always on my shelf. I've always got it.
I need to get one. That's it. I'm going to buy it this week. Well,
you
not
should.
this week.
That's a great bottle to have.
I also bought a Thomas H. Handy. I'm tapped out.
I saw the Thomas H. Handy. You got that in the vault. So
I did.
Explain. Okay, let's talk about that if you don't mind.
Sure.
That's something else that always interests me when I'm talking to folks in different areas. You guys have this vault program. Explain that to me a little bit.
All right. I'm so glad you brought this up because I was going to do a video about this too, and this will help me collect my thoughts.
Perfect.
On it. So, the ABC Vault there's a chain in Florida so Florida's not a control state. There are private businesses that are liquor stores. It's not run by the government. So ABC here is a family-owned chain that has been around since I think the end of Prohibition. There's a date 19 something. I forget what the hell it is. But anyway, so they're a store, and the Vault is something you get access to based on your points, and it's a reward system. So every dollar gets you X amount of points, and once you hit, I think it's 5,000 points. Once you hit 5,000 points, you get into the Vault. And the thing about the Vault is you are only guaranteed one Vault invitation per year. And you don't ever know what's going to be in there. A few weeks ago, they did a Vault for Beyonce's whiskey, and people were pissed. And then a few weeks before that, they had a Vault with Weller Millennium, and people were like, I'm not spending $8,000 on a bottle of bourbon.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not happening.
But most of the times, they got your Blantons, they got your Weller. And in fact, Weller is fucking impossible to find in Florida because for whatever reason, and I think it's one of these situations where like the sourced and certified with like ABC or Total Wine or whatever the hell they call their stuff. I think they did that with Weller before it was popular, and they've just kind of hung on to that. But they're the only company in the state of Florida that can sell Weller. You will not find Weller at any bars in Florida. It is the only place you can get Weller. And they don't put anything on the shelf except Weller Special Reserve. And when they do put Weller Special Reserve on the shelf, it's behind the counter and you have to ask and see if they have it. It is fucking impossible to get Weller. And my first ever ABC Vault was Weller CYPB. And the best part about the Vault is it's like dead retail. That bottle cost me like $48.
Oh, that's nice.
So there are benefits to it. I've gotten 2 George C. Staggs out of there. I've gotten a Weller 12-year out of there. Was it a full proof? No, it was a Weller. No, it was a Weller. Was it full proof? Something. I've got a Lot B out of it. I've gotten the Tom State Tandy now out of it. I'm trying to look around and see what else I got out of it. I'm trying to remember.
I mean, it pays off.
It's but the problem is it's like they let who the fuck knows how many people in at a time, and you can go and you can sit there and try to get some shit, and then the second you put your credit card in, it's gone. There are negatives to it, but like when it hits, it hits.
That's cool. I mean, it's at least giving you a chance at something. But I guess my point being is like, God, it shouldn't be that hard to buy a bottle of whiskey.
The thing about the Weller stuff that's so frustrating is like I know what you get because I know what other stores get of Weller. They get it. Like everyone kind of holds it back, but like make no mistake, it's that they have it there. Like they have stuff chilling, and it's frustrating because like the every few years like the rumor goes was like, oh, the agreement's going away, they're gonna make it available, and it just never happens. But I've had more luck, dude, at Walmart liquor than I have had anywhere else in Florida.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Huh? There's a great Walmart liquor store near me. If you're anyone in Florida listening, it's the Kagan Walmart, and they do drops like twice a month. And I've gotten Blanton's Gold, E.H. Taylor, Elmer T. Lee, Rock Hill Farms, all from Walmart at dead-ass retail.
I could not imagine. I mean, because Massachusetts, the liquor laws are completely different, right? We have to go to a package store or liquor store to buy our liquor, right? We can't just go into a Walmart.
What the hell's a package store?
So they call it that because you know of the brown paper bag that you would carry your liquor out in, right?
That's why it's called that?
That's why it's called a package store, right? You're right. So it's a liquor store that sells liquor, wine, and beer, right? So we don't buy it at grocery stores, or it's a special store. It's a freestanding store that just sells that. The distribution up here in Massachusetts is it's you can get stuff, but you're going to pay out the ass for it a lot of the time, right? Like it's just the allocation up here is insane. Like I just saw Russell's 15 for $600.
Dang, dude, you can find it less on the secondary.
Yeah, right. Like I walked into this store, I saw it for $600, and I was like, "Are you guys?" And I actually just asked them, "Are you guys crazy?" are you crazy? Because like if they had it at retail, I would have bought it. Right? If it was at $250, I would have bought it.
It's really good. It's really good. I got one.
I've heard.
I'm a big fan.
I haven't tasted it. I haven't had it yet.
I'll send you some. You want to try it?
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah,
because
absolutely, I'll send you some.
It's like I'd spend it the $250 MSRP, but I'm not going to spend $600 on it. You know what I mean? Like it's just not happening.
What's the most you would spend on a bottle?
What was that?
What's the most you would spend on a bottle? Like, what's the one for you where you're like, if I fucking see it, I'm getting it?
Well, it would be that. It would be probably that Russell's 15.
At $250, that's the most you would spend on a bottle? Like, that's your fuck it?
It would be like, I'd probably go up to $300. Once again, I'm a dad on a strict budget. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
I don't go nuts.
I get
it. I've made some really good relationships here. I'm part of the barrel selection committee for one of the local stores here, Burlington Wine and Spirits.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Right. It's great. Like I just went to Kentucky with them a few weeks ago, right? We did barrel picks in Kentucky. So I've made some really good relationships that help, right? Like, they sold me a Weller 12 at MSRP recently. They sold me an Albert T. Lee at MSRP recently.
Nice.
So yeah. So like you make relationships, it does help. It does pay off.
That's like the number one question I get is like, I don't talk about how I get my allocated stuff because it could, there's people that help me and I don't want that to go away.
Right.
Because, and I don't want to say how or where, but I would tell you off the air, of course, but, I don't disclose that. But the only thing I always tell people when they ask me, how do you get all these allocated bottles? It always comes down to a relationship, no matter what you do. Go to a store that you know that sells things or that gets things and be a loyal customer. Talk to them. Let them know that you are into certain brands or you are into certain bottles. Like I have feelers right now out for a Jack 14 and the new Coy Hill. Whenever the hell the 14 drops, that's one of those ones for me. If I saw it at $500, I would just say fucking buy it.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
To answer my question that I asked you that I didn't ask myself, but I will now. I would, if I saw a Double Eagle Very Rare for retail, I'd buy it.
Okay. Yeah.
Two G's, whatever that is, I would buy that.
That's good for you. I mean,
it's so stupid.
God,
I wouldn't be able to buy anything else for the rest of the year, but
I mean, that's how I look at it. Because that's my yearly budget right there. You know what I mean? Right? Like, so it's just how it is. But I get it. Buffalo Trace is very hard to get up here in Massachusetts. Any of their products, which at this point I'm okay with.
Yeah.
There's so much other good whiskey out there that I've just become like the person who just likes to explore and find new things to drink. What's your favorite, like kind of like newer brand right now?
Newer brand? My favorite, I have two. I have my local, craft distillery Conviction out of North Carolina. I'm a big fan of those guys. And I've had some people ask me like why I talk about them so much. And the answer is because I love them. I love them. That's how we became friends, was because I bought their stuff, did a review. They saw the review. I went to I paid to go to one of their tasting panels. I met them. We had similar opinions and similar palates, and we just started talking, and like we slowly became closer and closer. And next thing you know, I'm on their website now for one of the reviews. So like it was a genuine thing. I think that's how most my dog is screaming. I think my parents are home with the kids.
All good.
Sorry for anyone in the background that hears my dog freaking out. But that's how that happened. And I think that should be how brands, like relationships with brands like that should and could happen. Not all the time, obviously, because if you don't know them, then you can get exposed to them and love them just the same. But that's my favorite, like craft distillery. I love them so much. But my other one that I'm like really into right now, and it surprised me, was Green River.
Oh yeah,
I tried Green River wheated bourbon like a year and a half ago.
Yep,
and I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
But then I had a friend of mine who was like, hey, Green River's doing an event in Orlando. We should go because they're doing a single barrel pick. And it was with one of the stores around here called 5 Star that I love. And so I was like, fine, I'll go. It was like $50 plus you got the bottle. And I was like, why not? So I went, honestly, my content brain was like, I'll make a video on it. It'll be worth it just to do the video.
Sure.
So I go and I taste, the first thing they gave us was the wheated. And I was like, I fucking hate this thing. Can you take Jack out, please? Thank you. He's in there screaming. Sorry, my son came in. He's freaking out. Tasted the wheated bourbon. I was like, nope, I still hate this. I'm not a fan of this at all. And then we like tried a few other things, and I was like, which is weird because I love wheated bourbon. Like that's kind of what I gravitate towards. So for me to dislike something that much, I was like, okay. But then I tried like their bourbon and their rye, and I was like, this is really good. And then I tried the full proof. I think I tried the full proof before this, which is what made me want to go because I was like, I'll give it a shot. My time, I might be a little off. But I tried the full proof, and I was like, I love this. And then I tried the store pick, and I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. And it's like $55 for a full proof single barrel pick.
Nice.
How do you go wrong with that?
You can't.
How do you go wrong with that? 123.2 proof or something like that. Like, how do you go wrong with that?
You can't. That's what's great about
so good.
Their juice, and obviously they're supplying off the Blue Note, which I love Blue Note, right? I love what Blue Note's doing with their stuff.
Blue Note's awesome. Have you had their new rye yet?
The Honey Cask rye? No,
yeah,
I haven't.
Yeah, I want it so bad. I haven't seen it yet.
So my store, that Burns and Wine Spirits, they just posted. I was looking on Instagram before jumping on with you, and they just posted that they got it. So I'm probably gonna stop over there. I'll send you some.
Oh, sweet!
You send me some Russell 50, and I'll send you some of this.
Absolutely.
All right.
Done deal, bro.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Done deal. Because I mean, I'm usually not a big finished whiskey person that much. I mean,
me either. I'm not either.
Right, but I'll still gotta try it. You know, I mean,
for sure. And of course, there's exceptions to everything. There's exceptions.
Of course.
My thing is, it's just when the finish overpowers what's there. Like that, I hate it. Speaking of which, Conviction did a French oak finish that I fucking hated and told them so. I was like, I hate this. They're like, it's not for everybody. I'm like, it's absolutely not for me.
No, but that's the thing. You want to find brands like that respect that and can take the feedback, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes shit's just not for you, and that's totally fine. That's totally okay. Not everything's going to be for you.
No, it's not. It's really not. There's so many cool little craft distilleries out there, though, so it's fun to keep finding them.
Have you had Detling yet?
I've not, but I've heard some great things about them.
Dude,
for sure.
Okay. One of my friends, I'm not going to blow him up because I don't want people like reaching out to him because I talk about him a lot. So I'm not going to say who it is, but if you listen to the podcast, you probably know who it is. But one of my friends he's buying his own personal barrel, and he got a hold of one of their rye barrels.
Oh, wow.
He's doing a rye pick with it next year. But anyway, I'm excited about that because I'm really trying to go on that trip.
Nice.
But Detling is incredible, dude. I had one this past year. It was like, I don't know the name of it. I thought it was the bottled and bond, but apparently it's a cask strength version with like a gold wax on it.
Nice.
I would put that up with anything I have ever had. Period.
Wow.
It was so good.
That's strong. That's strong words there.
So that night we tried some stag pick. We tried Mr. Sam, the Canadian.
Oh, yep.
Which is really good. This blew those out of the water, and it wasn't even close. It was unbelievable. It was like creamy in your mouth. It had chocolate and orange notes. It was so incredible. I've asked him what the bottle was, and I'll have to go back and look at pictures. I'll send it to you. It was one of the best things I've ever had.
Man, well, I mean, I have to make sure I get my hands on some of that.
I cannot find it anywhere. Apparently, it's in Florida. I have not seen one yet at all.
So, where are they based out of?
I think they're in Alabama.
Okay, all right.
I think it's an Alabama distillery. It's
Alabama
or Mississippi. I think it's I think it's Alabama. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure it's Alabama.
I haven't had a lot from Alabama. Obviously, I've had Clyde Mays.
Not a fan. I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah, not a fan either. Haven't been a big fan. Have you? Obviously that's a fun thing to talk about with bourbon folks. Is I've been talking to a lot of distilleries lately who are saying that they see American whiskey kind of taking on the same landscape of Scotch in terms of like different regions having their own kind of feel. You know, I've heard in Scotland,
I can see that.
Or space side. So they're thinking that's where American whiskey's going, which is kind of a cool concept because it helps kind of guide, novice drinkers.
Sure.
Right? Because, like when you're looking at Scotch, you know what you're going to get with a space side. It's going to be citrusy, floral, fruity. If you go with an Isla, it's going to be smoky, peaty, all that. So these distilleries have been talking a lot about it with us on the show lately is that like they see that happening with American whiskey as well. And there'll be different regions and like this because it cooks different. It cooks in the barrel different. Right, it just cooks different in the barrel in different areas.
Well, like look at Texas. I mean, Texas bourbon across Still Austin, across Balcones, across Garrison Brothers. They all have this like underlining funky weird musky note. Yeah, exactly. Weird note to it that is distinctly Texas bourbon that you don't get from anywhere else.
Right.
I don't see why you. I mean, and that doesn't mean I'm not meaning to say that they all taste the same, but they all have a similar characteristic because of how it's aged. So
correct.
I think that's actually a really cool idea. I think it'd be cool to have the Kentucky Bourbon Trail and the Texas Bourbon Trail and the Arizona Bourbon Trail, because I don't know if you've ever had Delbach, but holy shit, is that stuff good?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I love Delbach American single. I have a single malt from a buddy of mine brought me it back from Arizona.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. It's my favorite single malt I've ever had. It's some barrel pick that they did for somebody, but it was it's so good. It makes me want to try more American single malt because it's just so fucking good.
Dude, I've been getting into them lately. I've been really getting into the American single malts lately.
It's interesting. There's some good stuff out there, man.
Yeah, there really is. We actually just did a pick with Bourbon Wine and Spirits of a Dark Arts American single malt.
I'm gonna have Gavin from Dark Arts on the show soon.
Oh, nice. Well, we just talked to Macaulay when we went down to.
Maybe that. No, I'm sorry. That's who it is. Gavin's from a different company. I'm sorry. Gavin is from yes.
Macaulay. Okay.
Yes. My fault.
Awesome.
Gavin is from Mercy. I forget the name of the brand. But sorry, different person. But yeah, I have Macaulay on here. Macaulay, is that his name? It's like MMM something at darkarts.com.
Yep, Macaulay.
Yeah, okay, Macaulay.
He's awesome.
Cool.
We went down there and saw him in Lexington a few weeks ago, and he took care of us.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool just experience with him. And so we picked an American single malt that is just like bright and peach and apricot, and like it's just, oh my God, it's so good.
You're speaking to my heart that loves Michter's tenure. That's because that's what I get from Michter's tenure. Is that
there you go? Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds.
It's good.
That sounds good.
It's bright. It's like nothing else you would have on your shelf. So, yeah. The point being, there's so many good American single malts out there, and I'm starting to dive into a lot more of them recently.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I always just find my way back to bourbon. Bourbon's just like it's my like if I could find more, like as good as much as I like Delbach, I just always come back to the sweetness, and it's just my thing. The bourbon is just my jam.
It's Brad's bourbon reviews.
Exactly. I only did bourbon reviews. This is a funny story. I was gonna just do like focus on all whiskey, but I started just gravitating towards more and more bourbons. And I just like alliteration. So that's why it's Brad's bourbon reviews.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with alliteration.
Honest.
Alliteration is
I like alliteration.
No, it's good stuff. No, we all have our palate, right? We all know what we like, and bourbon is probably my favorite of all of the whiskey, but I am really starting to get into, I mean, even just this last year, my rye collection is doubled.
Nice.
Like I'm picking up a lot more ryes. I'm picking up a lot more of these single malts. Because to me,
I can't get into rye. There's a few good ones, but I just for me, it's like for me, all ryes have like a very similar characteristic. There's like orange, there's like mint or licorice, and then like it just kind of like a caramel sweetness to it that I enjoy, but I don't get them.
Well, all right. So, do you have a favorite rye? I mean, Thomas Sandy's a rye.
Yeah, Thomas A. Sandy's probably my favorite. Rye I've ever had. I really like Hemingway, which is two things that I don't typically like, which is rye whiskey and a finished rye whiskey.
Right.
I like some Midwinter's Nitram. I like some of the Midwinter stuff, not all of them. There's one that I really hate. I think it's 10. Hate that one. But if I had to pick one, it's probably Thomas H. Handy.
Okay. I mean, it's a great rye, and you can't go wrong with the PTAC, right?
Mr. Sam is up there too.
Yeah, it's good.
Those are unattainable.
I'll
never see those.
I mean, there's some good ryes out there, and I'm starting to find them. And I found them because I had to get over my fear of rye. I wasn't a big fan of them at all, right? And over the last year or so, I've just really started to find more of them that I really, really like. Have you had the Sagamore Double Oak rye?
I think I had that at a whiskey festival like a year ago, and I remember liking it. I think Sagamore doesn't. They just do rye, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I've had it because I had the double oak. I can remember. I don't know if I remember if they did bourbon too.
Yeah. No, they just do rye, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really good. That's what kind of like turned my eyes onto like, oh, there's rye out there that tastes like this, And so I'm finding a lot more of those. But at the end of the day, like you, I always tend to gravitate back towards bourbon.
Have you had any of the Old Forester single barrel rye, the barrel proof ones? Do you like those?
Yeah. I'm not the biggest Old Forester fan.
Really?
I'll just be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. It's a brand for me that always drinks hot.
Remind me to send you one. I have a pick from a cigar bar here. And I agree. I agree with you. But I like that. Like that doesn't bother me as long as it's balanced out. And I feel like a lot of the Old Forester stuff is for me personally balanced out.
Yep.
But I have a store pick from Corona Cigars. I'm not gonna say how I got it because they don't sell their bottles. I got sent to a wrong store and they sold it to me. And I didn't say anything.
That's funny.
But it's 130 proof. And so my fiance Holly, she is not a big bourbon person. But she will, and she likes good ones. Like, if I could blind her and go like, what is like, give her a really bad one and then a really good one. And she would like appreciate the really good one and explain why, but she's not like into it like I am.
Gotcha.
But the other night I opened this and did the review. I don't even know if I posted the review yet. I may have, I don't know. It's an Old Forester pick, 130 proof. And dude, there is no burn on the nose and there is no burn even in the chest. And I was like, what proof do you think that is? And she was like, 95. And I was like, it's 130.
Wow.
And it was her first drink of the day. And it is such a good bottle. Like whoever picked this magic barrel, it is so good.
I love it.
I'll send you that too because it is phenomenal. But I agree with you. Most Old Forester drinks pretty hot.
Yeah, and so like my favorite Old Forester is actually the Black Label single barrels.
Yes, those are good.
Those are probably my favorite Old Foresters. I like high proof stuff. Like I have, I did a pick at Copper and Cask. It's 138.6 proof bourbon. Like I like high proof stuff as long as it's not drinking hotter than what it should be drinking. And Old Forester always does that to me for my palate. So
see, Maker's Mark does that for me too, bro.
And then you went and bought the celery today.
I'm so stupid. I'm such an idiot. I hate me, Joel. Joel, I hate me.
Yeah, we all have those days. Man.
I might edit this out just because I don't want to sound like a dick. The only reason I bought it was because I looked it up and I had the first review of it.
Oh, really?
That was the only reason I bought it.
Well, there you go.
And it didn't even do well. It didn't even do well. The video didn't even do well. I thought more people would be interested. A lot of comments were like, "Yeah, I know this would suck. I didn't like the last one." I was like, "Fair." I wish I hadn't spent $350 fucking on it.
That's tough.
I overpaid too, because I'm not usually the person to overpay, but I overpaid, and it just burned me. What are you gonna do? Hey man, you live, you learn.
You live, you learn. It happens.
It does look good on the shelf though. The bottle's beautiful. You got to be honest.
Oh, dude, they nailed it with that bottle shape.
They did.
They really have.
Have you seen the new private selections with this bottle shape? It looks so good.
It does. It looks like a classy bottle on your shelf. Yeah, it's one that we haven't had the heart release drop yet up here in Mass. But
if you want one, let me know. They are all over the place here.
They're supposed to drop. Okay. I was told they're supposed to drop any day now, so I probably will get my hands on one.
If you can't for whatever reason or they sell out, let me know. They're literally all over the place.
It's crazy. I'm telling you, man, I don't understand how distribution happens up here.
We either get things first, like the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged, or we get them dead last. I'm still waiting on the new Bardstown Origin series.
Oh yeah, the weeded.
Have you had it yet?
No, I haven't. I was thinking about buying it off Sealbox the other day.
I want it so bad, dude. I want to try because I love Bardstown Origin series.
Well, it sucks because we were in Kentucky that week, but we left Thursday and it dropped on Friday. I was like, I know. I was like, God damn it.
That happened with me at Heaven Hill. I got in the car and left that morning, and they were like, Old Fitz 10-year or Old Fitz 19. I was like, fuck.
It's crazy.
It's so heartbreaking when that happens.
Well,
so what's the bottle that you bought that you were like, what is this? Why did I buy this?
What's that bottle for me? Oh, God. Anything that I've ever bought from Castle and Key. Yeah. Once again, I never like to talk down on a brand, but I don't know what the fuck is going on with Castle and Key.
I agree. It is not good.
Okay. It's not. It's just not. And I love the bottle.
Not for the price either, because I see this shit. It's like $70 here. I don't know what it is over there.
Right. So like I've tried it. I've tried to go back to it. I've tried different batches. I can't get behind it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
It's just, and so where I get myself mad is that I bought like 2 other bottles after the first one that I didn't like, just to see if it was just a bad batch or a bad bottle. But like, nope, because people talk good stuff about it. You know? And
I don't get those people. I think they're lying.
That goes back to they got sent that bottle and they're not telling the truth.
Yep, 100%. Or like I did a Patreon exclusive episode before this, and I talked about there's people that you should listen to because you trust their opinion, and there's people and you agree with them, and there's people you should listen to because you disagree with them so adamantly that if they hate something, you know you'll like it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There's people like that for me, and I can't really think of anybody in the bourbon industry or the bourbon community that's like that. Where if I watch something and I go like, oh, if they hate that, I know I'll love it. But there's a content creator for a different type of content. He's a Disney guy, and he will like review food. And I'm a big food guy. Actually, Brad's Bourbon Reviews started as a food reviews channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I abandoned that really quickly because I was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
That's so funny. I actually, back in the day, that's what I used to do too. Was I had a food blog.
No kidding.
It was called Eating Around Town. Eat. Yeah. And
that's fucking genius, bro.
It was a genius blog, man. This was like this was in the blog days. This was before social media. Like this was
2008, 9.
Yes.
I was in high school.
Yes. This was literally, I think it was, I'm not even kidding. I think it was actually 2008, 2009. It was Eating Around Town. We did food reviews of like just hole in the wall places in Cleveland.
That's awesome.
Anyways, go on.
That's so cool, man. I forgot what I was saying. What was I even talking about?
Well, you were just talking about how this Disney guy.
Oh yeah. So like whenever he says he hates something, I'm like, oh, I got to try it. Because I know that like our opinions are so, because it's just been proven time and time again. And so like, I feel like there's people that you could watch that you might not necessarily agree with.
Oh, for sure. And
go get something out of it, because living in an echo chamber sucks. If everyone agrees to everything, what's the point?
Yeah, totally.
And I like when people push back on stuff. Like, I get it all the time. Like, hey, you're off on this. I'm like, I might be, but I don't like it.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about the internet sometimes that I think it's missed. It's okay to disagree with one another.
Yeah. You don't have to hate each other.
It's not okay to be disrespectful. It's not okay to be disrespectful to one another, but it's okay to disagree.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? That's the thing that it gets missed so much on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. It's just like, I'm fine that we are disagreeing. I am not fine with you calling me names because you don't agree with my, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like,
you don't like being called a cuck?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, you're just meeting me and you're going to say, like,
not even meeting me. You saw a video of me. You don't know me. If I was walking around in a crowd, you wouldn't know who I'm nobody. Why are you yelling at me about my opinion on the bottle?
Exactly. It's crazy to me. Like I think about like if we did that to people in real life.
Oh my God, you could get your ass kicked. First off, people wouldn't talk to me like that. I'm 6'3". I used to be a cage fighter. I don't think anyone. Wow, really? I don't think anyone would talk shit to me in person. I'm also very fat now, so maybe they would. I don't know. But yeah, people don't talk like that in person, dude. People don't talk like that in person. They're fucking. Well, they're scared. They're hiding behind keyboards and typing mean shit. I feel like you get it more than anybody.
I do. So
I know. Is it because you post quote cringe shit? Like you're
probably.
Are people not aware that you're aware that what you're doing?
Oh, I think that's exactly what it is. Right. Right. I get it all the time, and it's because I don't look like every other bourbon guy on the market. You know?
Yeah, I do. It's upsetting.
Right, and then B, right. I'm posting just stupid, crazy, who cares shit. Right.
I say cringe with love, by the way. I don't mean actual cringe. You know, I love you.
Oh no, I know. Listen, yes, I'm completely accepting of some of the stuff I post is cringy when I'm up there dancing.
It's hilarious. That's
shaking my head to people.
One of my favorite ones was when you're like your kids asking you why you post cringe dancing content, and what was the song you did with that?
Oh, what did I do with that?
Oh my god, it made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Every time I open up TikTok and I see you dancing, it makes me fucking smile. I love it.
Well, that's good. That's all I'm looking to do.
I love
honestly. It. Like, it's just, to me, it's an outlet, and to have fun with it. Yeah, I don't know. And so here's the deal. I've had people like social media experts reach out to me and be like, you get such good engagement on your videos. They don't understand why you haven't blown up, you know? And
yeah, I agree with them.
So first off, I think the reason I haven't is because I don't have the time to.
Sure, I get sense. That. Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I see these people that have blown up, and like they're on the app constantly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's some people that are on there way too much. Like, there's some people where you can go work a full day, check in the morning, and they're on a live stream. And then you get off, and you're just like, okay, well, I'm not going to like pay attention to that right now because I have other things I'm doing. And then get on at like 12 o'clock at night, and they're like, we're still here. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Right. And not only that, they're doing live streams, and I swear to God, they must have like another phone that they're like commenting on everyone's videos on, because like there's always in people's comments too.
It's kind of like iPads or something. Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
I think we're thinking about the same person, by the way.
Probably not. We're not gonna name them right now.
No, I'm not gonna name her name.
Yes.
No, I think
yeah, for sure. But no, seriously, there's that element, right, of I just don't have the time for it. And the other side of it is like that's not the reason I'm trying to create.
Sure, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to create just to have an outlet and have fun.
Yeah, man. My kids are I have a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old, or he's almost 13. He's 12 and 9, and they know I make videos and stuff, and they don't have a proper gauge of what like good is. Like I'm excited because I'm about to cross 2,000 on YouTube. And
great.
They're
Congrats.
like, thanks, man. And they're like, you only have 2,000. They're like, why don't you have like 150 million like Mr. Beast? And I'm like, do you know that that's not normal?
Right.
Like they give me shit so bad. They're like, you only have that many followers. I'm like, shut up. Like I'm trying.
I know.
But like I'm not doing it to be Mr. Beast. I do it because I love bourbon, and I'm actually really excited. Like as much as I love the old co-host of this podcast, Timmy, I am excited to do something different with the show. And to be honest, you're doing exactly what my initial plan was for the podcast, and you're doing it better.
Oh, really?
Better than I could.
Well, I appreciate that.
You guys are great. It's a great podcast. Whiskey Rocks is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
And I'm totally stealing your idea. And I'm going to do the same thing you're doing, just worse. That's my content idea. I find somebody doing something good, and I do a shitty version of it.
Well, I appreciate you taking it down a notch. So thank you.
I will. I definitely will. I definitely won't do better than you. That's for sure.
Oh,
I definitely won't
hilarious.
do it better. You guys are blowing the fuck up, man. I saw you guys posting something that you guys were like on like a top 20 or 10 list or some shit.
Yeah, we were last year for 2023. It was the top 70. We were the top 70 whiskey podcasts for 2023. We were like number 20.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I got some weird email like that today. It said I'm number 88 on some chart, and I looked up the chart and I couldn't find it. I don't know if it's real.
Oh man,
some spam guys were like, "Click this link so I can get all your information while telling you you're great." So stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
I probably just realized. I think I just realized I fell for a scam.
It might have been. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, we're having fun, and that's I think what comes through when you listen to the show. I hope that's what comes through when you listen to the show. It's me and my best friend. You know, we've been best friends for 20-something years, and so
you can tell.
Yeah, well, and that's yeah. You know, we have pretty good chemistry. So it's fun, and we're having a good time with it. And honestly, it's like just crazy to me that people from distilleries and stuff want to come and talk to us. So yeah,
that's so cool, man. Well, I'm glad that you guys are crushing it because we've talked for a long time back and forth, and
yeah.
I respect the shit out of you.
Thanks,
you guys,
same with you.
Oh,
I mean,
thanks,
what you're doing out there with, I mean, your video quality, what you're able to do with telling a story around a bottle is awesome. You do stuff that I can't do that. Like I can't do what you do.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I appreciate it because I just can't stop talking. That's the only reason the videos are as long as they are. But thank you. I appreciate it, man. I really do.
People stick around and watch them. That's what matters.
The
right?
weird thing is that like it shouldn't work on TikTok. Like if you took my videos and you were like you just watched it without any context,
yeah,
and you were like, and I was like, what kind of video? What platform would you put that video on? The answer would be YouTube, right?
YouTube, yeah, 100%.
I post these same videos to YouTube that I do TikTok, and I get 10 times the views on TikTok, and I don't understand it.
Well, I'll say this: I don't understand how YouTube works at all. I kind of understand it with TikTok, though not very much.
I think it's the algorithm on TikTok's just better. If you want my opinion,
yeah, it's something about the way it gives people more of a chance. Whereas YouTube,
oh, absolutely,
you have to have what's called account authority to get anything pushed through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where TikTok, I mean, I think this is kind of getting pretty granular in terms of the way social media works, but TikTok is by design hoping to get you addicted to it.
Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So
they want you to add content to it.
Exactly.
Which is why if you make an account and you post a video, if you look at some of these people who have like 1 or 2 videos on their TikToks, a lot of them will have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views because they want you to get that dopamine hit of, holy shit, I can do this. I'm a content creator. I got 1 million views.
Exactly.
And the next thing you know, you're like me walking through a fucking Target, which is my first ever TikTok was me bourbon hunting at a Target.
Exactly. I mean, that's what
and it got 10,000 views, and you're like, holy shit, that's awesome. I'm going to keep going.
Right. And I mean, I think that's a smart business model for them, but YouTube does something completely different where
they bury you. It's the opposite.
They bury
no one knows
you
who you are. No one gives a fuck. You're not going anywhere
until they do.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you make it on YouTube, I guess that's where you can actually monetize really well.
Are you guys are you monetized? Are you in the creator program on TikTok?
Not yet. No,
okay.
No.
It sucks, bro.
I've heard, and that's the thing. And like I was giving you some shit on Instagram the other day about, you have 14,000 followers, which is awesome, right?
Oh, me? Thank you. Yeah, I thought you were saying you did. I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
I was giving you shit.
Oh, thank you.
I have more likes, but
yes, like I said, you're more likable. It makes sense.
But we only have like 2,500 followers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how is that possible?
Yes. We get a ton of engagement.
All right, I'm gonna have to make a video about you, and it's gonna change.
I think people like to laugh at us or me in particular, but they don't want to look at me, so they don't follow me.
I think that's the problem with short form content is like it's good for 2 seconds and you hit the like button and then you move past it. That's why I try not to do short form stuff. Like I'll do the only short form thing I really do is like the Thomas A. Chaney video where I do that every time I get an ABC Vault. It's the Zelda music opening the treasure chest and then it's revealing the bottle. I do it every single time. I've done it for a few months now. But it's the only short form thing I do because I'm not good at it because I can't shut the fuck up. But B, I just don't see much value to it for me for what I'm trying to do.
No, and I agree. I think that's one of the problems with my account is that I don't have the time to do anything long form. My long form content is the podcast that I do.
Totally.
you know what I mean? Like that's my long form content is that we do an hour every Friday with each other, and that's the time I have for long form. Everything you see that I put out on TikTok and Instagram, like that's stuff that I just do one take. I'm done with it in 2 minutes. Move on.
I love it so much. That's so funny. That's so funny to me. I love it.
But it's probably backfired in terms of like it's not really helping my account very much. But whatever, I don't care. It's fun. That's fine.
Well, I will say this: the creator. So I will say this too. So I'm monetized on YouTube and on TikTok, and I get about. I'm gonna be based it on last month, and I had a few videos that did pretty good. I got like 60,000 views, a few more than that on TikTok. I'm going to say I get about a fifth of the views I get on YouTube versus TikTok. I get 5 times. I think I said it backwards. I get about 5 times more on TikTok than I do on YouTube. I make more money off YouTube,
and that's what I've been told. I've been told like
it's so stupid.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Is that YouTube is where like you can actually monetize and actually decent money from.
And it's weird now too because they have a CP. I think it's called a CPM, which is basically like your clicks, your dollar per 1,000 view. Right. And, I mean, it's like 4 or 5 times larger than TikTok.
Wow.
And it's weird because it's alcohol content, and that's not usually something that they put a high CPM on. It's very strange. I don't know what's going on. It's weird.
Maybe I should. We started posting we started trying to do something on YouTube because like our podcast is audio only. That's how it gets released, right? But we record video when we're doing the actual recording. So we started putting some of those recordings up on YouTube, but like they got like 2 views each. So I was like, well, fuck that.
Did you make a good thumbnail?
I don't know how to make a thumbnail.
Okay, I'll help you. Okay. I love it. Dude, my goal is to not be in front of the camera and just edit for people. That's my goal.
Oh, well then Jesus, you can help me with this.
I just want to be paid to edit and not be, I mean, I don't mind being in front of the camera. I'll do it and I like doing it, but like if I could pick and I could just edit for somebody else, I would fucking love to do that.
Oh, so
that's the goal.
Maybe you could help me with some of that stuff.
Yeah, YouTube's tricky because they used to really rely on tags, and this people probably tune the fuck out, but I don't give a shit. That's what I like to talk about. People used to really rely on tags, and now it's almost irrelevant. I've had videos with literally 0 tags be the most viewed videos. Yeah. It's all about the combination of description, title, and the thumbnail, and the first 30 seconds being very gripping. That's the key to YouTube. That's all it is.
Okay. All right.
So, and I'm by no means an expert, but that's the videos where I've followed that format have been the ones that I've gotten the most quote success on.
Well, as we're talking about monetizing, I just got an email that somebody bought a T-shirt of ours. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, I owe you a T-shirt purchase, by the way. I keep forgetting to do it. I told you I was going to buy one, and I mean it. I'm gonna.
I just got an email. So, woo-hoo.
Let's go.
But, yeah, hey, ka-ching.
You guys should start a Patreon.
So I've been told that by a few of our listeners.
I started one. It's changed my life.
Yeah. So
yes.
Can I brainstorm with you on it a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah.
So, when I asked, our fans, if we started a Patreon, I would have a comment that we'd love to see. I got the normal responses of foot pics, stuff like that. Things you would expect.
Man, that shit's lucrative. All right.
So, what are you putting on there? Like, what are you doing for content?
So I was a little ambitious with mine. I actually did something that I didn't think would work, and it worked. One of the tiers sold out in 3 hours.
Wow.
So what I'm doing is I'm committing to two 2 exclusive videos, 2 exclusive podcasts a month.
Okay.
The middle tier, that's for the cheapest tier. The middle tier gets all that. They also get input on what the videos actually are. They get videos first there. So I'm a one-man team. I do all the recording. I do all the editing. I do everything is just me. I set up the only time I get any help with any of the videos is when Holly puts me in focus before she hits record. That's the only thing that I get help with. That's the only thing that I have help with. And that's fine. I'm a control freak. I like it. I wouldn't want to pay someone to edit. I'm a weirdo. I would just want to do it myself.
I hear you.
And there's some other perks in there. I forget exactly what they are, but the top tier, so it's like that the lowest tier is $5 a month. The middle tier is $10 a month. It also includes like I'm doing a Patreon exclusive like blooper reel because I fuck up things all the time. And a few other small things. And then there's a top tier where you get everything from the previous 2 tiers, and for $75 a month, which I didn't think would work. In fact, I initially named the tier "I Have More Money Than Sense," and
nice.
it was $75. It's $75 a month, and you get a 2-ounce sample. And I limited this to 3 people. You get a 2-ounce sample of every review I do for the month.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And that sold out in 3 hours.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
I'm now having to go like, okay, I have a legit part-time job now.
Oh yeah.
I have to do this. I have to make sure I'm on it. I've got videos recorded, edited, uploaded for the next 2 weeks. And I'm now working just on Patreon content.
Damn, dude.
So
wow.
I hustle.
That's a hustle.
It's a pain in the ass, but I do it. I'm up till 4 a.m. most nights editing and uploading and making thumbnails and descriptions and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And
wow.
yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot that goes into it. But you definitely should start a Patreon, even if it's just like, I mean, you can do. I have a free tier too, so you just go and show support. Like it literally doesn't do anything. You don't even get access to anything. It's just literally their support, and you'll see the people. Then, eventually they'll try to. I'm actually thinking about adding a 3rd tier where it's like you get like 2 to 3 samples per month and see how that goes. But, yeah. So it's you guys have such a loyal following. You definitely should do it. And I don't think you need to do that much. I mean, you could do. I mean, but I
like the idea of even because a lot of
do a $75 tier. You guys have distilleries on. I'm sure they're sending you shit. So I'll send you a sample pack. I'll send you a sample pack.
Right.
$50 a month. Anything we get on the show, you can get a free sample, or not a free sample, but it's included.
Maybe
in
something
$50.
like that because we do get. I mean, yeah, every brand that comes on sends us stuff, so it's like
that's great.
Right. That's not a bad idea. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more because we've been told by a couple people we should do something.
You definitely should, man. Definitely should. There's literally no reason not to.
I want to keep the show ad free, right? Like
This is a great way to keep it ad free.
Right.
I don't take ads. I refuse. I have one coming up that I'm thinking about doing, only because it's something that I would do anyway. It's a cigar company.
Okay, right.
When I love cigars, but I'm not doing like Rocket Money or any shit like that. Like I'm just not doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like I can.
You're not going to tell me what I can and can't talk about either. Like if I want to go off on a tangent about what Star Wars, because I'm a big Star Wars dork, you're not going to tell me I can't.
Right. No, I hear you there.
So
well, I don't know. Something to think about a little bit more as we keep growing this. But
yeah, Hey man, you're in the top 20 of whiskey podcasts and you don't have a fucking Patreon. Come on, man.
I know.
I'm an idiot, and I have one.
Well, it's something that I think I need to think about more. I just, like I said, it all goes back to that whole thing of fucking time. You know? But I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just did like a bonus pod, like if it was, you can do a small thing. You can do just literally just do one bonus episode of the podcast a month or whatever you guys have time for, two a month if you can. And after when you're doing a recording session, just do another one. Like because people who are going to support you are going to want to hear you and Chris, right?
Well, and that's the thing. We could go back to like what we started the podcast about,
exactly,
because our show has really evolved into we're having brands on, right? but it started with
pairing rock and whiskey, right?
Exactly. So we could do like those Patreon episodes could be like, back to our basics, back to the roots of what the show really was about. So not a bad idea.
You definitely should consider it,
you got
man.
me thinking, man. You
definitely should consider it.
You got me thinking. This is what happens when I come on Brad's Bourbon Reviews podcast. I start thinking about shit. Right?
So going, man, this guy's an idiot and he can do it. Why can't I do it?
No, I am. I am an idiot, folks. So
no, me. I'm an idiot, and I figured it out.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're an idiot too.
Yeah,
so
we're both dumb. It's fine.
We truly are.
All right, man.
What else is that?
Do you have some more time, or do you need to get out of here?
I got a few more minutes.
All right.
I got about 15 more minutes.
I want to know. This is my favorite question to ask whiskey people. I asked Randy Sullivan it when he was on the show from Bourbon Real Talk, and he gave a great answer. And it was I wanted it so bad to try because he made it sound so awful. What is the worst whiskey or bourbon you have ever had?
Oh God. This goes back to that whole thing that I hate talking about negative.
It's okay. It's okay. Mine's Jim Beam Peel Batch. I hate that fucking bottle.
That's pretty bad.
It's bad.
I've had that.
It's really
I'm just trying to think like,
if this is what they repealed, they probably should have kept it that way, to be honest.
Probably for me, this, man, there's a couple. There's a couple where I've just been like, I mean, I was talking about Castle and Key earlier, right? That's definitely up there for me. But one of the ones that's really sticking out to me right now is have you just had the Balcones bourbon?
No, you don't like that one? Oh, I was drinking on that last night, actually.
I
like it. Bourbon? Yeah, the red label one?
Yeah.
I like it.
And I love Balcones. Like, I love their American single malt. I love their even their blue, their baby blue, their corn whiskey. I love that. I love their brimstone. The bourbon hits me in all the wrong places.
I totally get it. It's kind of offensive, but I like it that's what I like about it. It's got that weird Texas funk like we were talking about before.
It does have a really major funk to it that I just couldn't get by. I would say the same thing. I mean, the same thing for the Garrison Brothers, small batch, especially for $100 bottle.
That's so wild that's like their cheap offering.
It's so wild to me, it's insane, it's truly just like, why is that going to be so expensive?
They're not even a craft distillery anymore. Like why like craft I get, like it's expensive to do this shit. And when you scale up, it gets way less expensive. But like,
right.
I don't consider Garrison Brothers a craft distillery, and they're available in fucking Walmart. Why are they so expensive still?
My bottle so I'm a huge, and a lot of people that have followed the show understand. I'm a big Knob Creek fan, right?
Nice, me too.
So yeah, big Knob Creek fan. But then they have a bastard bottle that I'm like, why the fuck did they do that? You know what I mean? It's the maple, the smoked maple.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, I'm a Jack guy. They have honey. They got the fucking.
I don't know. Why the fuck? Why? Why the fuck did they have to do that? Like,
well, I think there's just a lot of people who just don't like alcohol, but like getting fucked up. And so anything they can do to make that experience less, quote, painful on them is it's got to be what it is.
It's horrible.
I always confuse from a distance. I always think it's Knob Creek 15 and I get excited.
Oh, I know, because the color. Yeah. I know. It's such a cock tease when you see it in the store. You're like, wait a minute, what is that?
Fuck.
I mean, fuck, that maple shit.
I don't want that shit.
Yeah, that one, it's just one of those bottles that I'm just like, why? Why did they have to do that?
I'm doing a video on flavored whiskey here soon because somebody sent me a few samples to try, and I have I'll tell the story on the video. I don't think everyone that's going to see the video will hear this and vice versa, so I'll tell the story twice. My favorite story surrounding flavored whiskey is I used to be a stand-up comedian, and I opened for Charlie Murphy about 5 or 6 years before he passed away. And I opened for him a few times. He was always so cool to me. I loved that dude.
That's awesome.
And one night we were sitting in the green room, and he was like, "Listen, I want to get drunk. I want to get fucked up. What we got to drink?" And I was 22 maybe, and I was at the Comedy Zone in Charlotte, and I had brought, because I was broke. I wasn't gonna buy a fucking drink at the bar. I was too poor. And so I had brought a bottle of Jack Daniel's honey in with me, and I was like, let's drink this, let's try this. And I got Charlie Murphy absolutely fucking shit-faced on a bottle of Jack Daniel's honey. Every time I'm looking at that bottle right now, and every time I see that bottle, I think of Charlie Murphy going, "This is some good shit." Charlie Murphy likes this shit. He actually did talk like that in the third person too, in real life. Great. By the way, he was one of the coolest dudes of all time.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's the only good flavored. Go back to the Knob Creek thing. That's the only good thing about flavored whiskey is that story for me.
Yeah, flavored whiskey is a whole other thing.
I don't get it. It's so infuriating that like Fireball dictates the market.
Yeah, it's insane to me. It's absolutely insane to me that people, and that people actually think it's whiskey.
Yeah,
too.
It's crazy.
You know, like it. I had somebody on the internet like threaten my life, because I was telling them that it wasn't whiskey.
Wow. That's a weird hill to die on.
It's a weird hill to die on, especially when you can easily go to Google and just find out that and search that it's not whiskey. It's flavored liqueur. People do. I know. Goes back to that whole thing. But yeah, flavored whiskey is.
Are there any that you like?
Any flavored whiskey that I like?
Because I do have one that I genuinely like a lot, and it makes me sad every time I buy a bottle of it.
I can't say there's one that I'm like, yeah, that's something I'm going to go chase down from a flavored whiskey perspective. I mean,
I like Howler Head.
You like the Howler Head? Wow,
I'm
like the banana.
Bro, I'm a banana whore. I will.
Well, you're a Jack guy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I started getting into whiskey. I was like, oh, that's why I like this.
Yeah.
I love anything banana flavored. Like if like Chick-fil-A is doing that banana pudding milkshake right now, and I cannot get there fast enough. I love anything banana flavored. So it's it's one of those guilty pleasures for me that like I genuinely like.
Banana Runts.
Yeah, 100%. I will buy those in bulk. My favorite.
Buy just the banana run? Can you just buy them like just the banana run?
They're on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Dude, they're on Amazon. You can get like a big old like 5-pound bag of them for like $20.
Oh my god, that's hilarious! I didn't know that. Wow.
My favorite banana candy. This is fucking obscure. My favorite banana candy is. You might remember these. Remember when we were little kids and they had like the little fruit shaped plastic container that had the powder in it?
Oh yeah.
Those the banana one of those is like my all time favorite banana candy.
That's hilarious.
I love that stuff so much.
Oh, now you just made me feel older.
I know. Dude, I get that feeling every week. I'm like, oh, God, I'm getting old.
I'm getting old as fuck. I really am.
Yeah, buddy, me too. We're doing it.
We are doing it. The flavored stuff is not for me. There's some finished stuff that I've gotten more into, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have one bottle of. I don't even own a bottle of Howler Head right now, but I do have a bottle that I bought just to do the shitty because I knew the video was going to give me I knew the bottle was going to give me a bad reaction, which would make a good video. It was the Fireball Dragon's Reserve. That's the only flavored bottle I have on my shelf right now.
Oh wow!
And it tasted like acid reflux. It was terrible.
Ugh.
I don't buy anything flavored typically. If I do, it's Howler Head, and I haven't bought one in like 2 years, but I do like it.
No. It's not anything that I ever go and grab.
I feel you.
It's not my thing.
No,
that's all.
I completely understand.
But it's for some people, and if you like it, and you're listening, enjoy it.
And it could be a good gateway for you too. Maybe you go like, I really want to try something different. You know, and that's why I will encourage anyone to drink any kind of whiskey. Like that's actually was my takeaway in the Beyonce video. Was like someone could try this and go like, this is interesting. I like this. What's like a better, like, okay, there's someone out there who will go, okay, this is Beyonce's rye. Like, what's a good rye? And go find something, or like maybe find the Jack Bonded and start drinking the Jack Bonded rye, which is a fucking awesome bottle. And it's $35.
I love it. Yep.
And then the next thing you know, they're trying to hunt down, like it could be someone's gateway. And I think that's really cool. And that's why I don't like, as much as I don't like flavored whiskey. And the only reason I'm doing a video of it is because I think it again, I'll try anything. is that could be someone's gateway, and it can help you figure out what you like in a whiskey.
It can, but it can also.
It probably won't. But it could. I do think that's fair. I think it gives false expectations for what whiskey is. Whiskey is not flavored shit like that. It's notes. That's a good thing too to tell people. When you taste whiskey, it doesn't taste like flavored shit. There are notes of it. You can detect a hint of something. It doesn't taste like banana. No,
correct. We had on the show a few months back, Traverse City. On the show. And
Traverse City. Why do I know that name? Is that Florida?
It's Michigan. Actually,
Traverse City.
Pretty good stuff. They've got some the rye they sent me was fantastic. This barrel proof.
I'm looking this brand up now because I feel like I know this.
Traverse City Whiskey Company. But one of the things they sent us was, I guess Traverse City is like the cherry capital of the world.
Oh, yeah. I know that. I've seen this bottle around. I've seen that bottle around.
So they do this big cherry festival up in Traverse City. So one of the things they sent us was whiskey infused with Traverse City cherries. So it's really interesting. And I gave it to my wife, who's not a whiskey drinker at all. And I said, here, taste this. And she hated it also. Yeah,
it's for no one.
The moral of the story is that even flavored stuff isn't for everyone all the time either. It's actually pretty good. I shouldn't say. My wife just doesn't like the taste of any sort of whiskey, so she tasted it in there. It was just like, nope, can't drink it.
Well, that's why I firmly stand behind the fact that women shouldn't be involved in bourbon. That's my TED Talk. Thank you guys for coming to the episode. No,
and that's how Brad.
And that's how I got canceled again. Obviously, I'm joking. But hey, man, we've almost done an hour and a half. This is wild. I appreciate you coming on the show. This will not be your last time coming on the show. You're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Let everybody know where they can find you one more time before we wrap this bad boy up.
Oh, yeah. You can find us at the Whiskey Rocks Podcast on Instagram, on TikTok. Find the podcast itself on Spotify, on Apple, Spreaker, Google, Amazon, all that. We put out about 2 to 3 episodes a month. We'd love to have you check an episode out. Let us know what you think. Give us feedback.
Or don't. Shut up. Why don't you start a podcast and fucking talk about whatever you want to talk about, guy who's going to comment and complain?
That's a good point, too. Or you can just fuck off.
And that's why I'm not popular.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thank you guys for listening so much. We'll see you guys on the next one. Check out. Well, I should hang on. I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna do a take 2 of that. I'm not gonna edit it out. But I'm gonna try again. Thank you. I about started to do it again. What an idiot. Thank you everyone for listening to the show. Please make sure you go check out the Patreon, the Instagram, and the TikTok and YouTube. You can find all of it under Brad's Bourbon Reviews. Hit subscribe. If we can get to 2,500 subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to do a 3 allocated bottle giveaway if we can get there in the year 2024. And those bottles, I got to be honest with you, they're banging. So you might want to be one of the subscribers so you can maybe win one of those bottles. I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, cheers.